Live at lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road across from Rufino's, welcome to the Monday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, and look who's back, Jimmy Ott. You remember Jimmy Ott. Max Gotrode, Jordan Kinch back in the studio.
What's up, Charlie?
Look,
How you doing, buddy?
Rested.
Good job. I listen to y'all a
tanned.
little bit on the air, on the road when I can get up.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I know it's an early start when you're on vacation.
Not
but,
too early, but you.
Yeah, that's right. With the time change, I meant. How was your trip?
Come
Nice.
on, man.
It's always good
If it's,
to
you
get
know,
out.
You complain about going there at this time of the year, man. You just better jump in front of the next moving bus. I mean, come on. It's great. It's great. So, but you got to, it's humid out there, Charlie. Compared to the locals. It's humid out there.
3% humidity.
I think it's a 10 or 11.
10, yeah.
But cloudy some days.
Yeah.
Did you set them straight on those complaints?
No, they absolutely, yeah. We shut that down real quick, but it's a little bit of la land, and the horse racing industry is it's got its issues, and look, man, we still don't know if the fairgrounds are going to make it. That group doesn't. They're for business. They don't care about nostalgia or history or anything. I mean, and they've shut down some pretty damn big tracks. And so we don't know, and that's our local outlet. But one thing that track has, that's a fashionable crew, bro.
They dress well.
It's a good look. You ever seen an ugly model? I mean, come on.
Right,
it's a good-looking crew, man. I'm just going to say that. It's something to see at a racetrack.
Picturesque.
Yeah, man. It's la land.
That's good. We are 4 weeks away from week 0, 5 weeks away from LSU opening the season, and a little under 6 weeks away from the NFL starting. Everybody in the NFL is in camp. LSU reports tomorrow and starts on Wednesday. So it's
media days for all the conferences have coming on.
Everything's over with. Talking season
is done. Your big takeaways? I thought the Sankey was a little interesting as far as because there's so much going on off the field, and they play a big role in it. And then last minute, they talk to a politician, and he convinces the university presidents in the SEC to go along with this. And so that's something that has happened of significance. But I thought a little pettiness, And listen, we see the Big 12 commissioner come out and beat their chest how great. We see the American. Conference USA talk about how great they are, but you're the SEC, and it was just, and boy, the Big Ten had their kind of their counter, and like, oh really? And so I thought the biggest thing out of that was missing. It was only half the story was presented, the 9-game conference schedule. That's half the story. Well, the Big Ten's had a 9-game conference schedule forever. Are they mandated to play a Power 4 non-conference in one non-conference? That's the set. Nobody mentioned that. On all the coverage, and I'm talking about like Big Ten media days or people, nobody mentioned that. Well, that separates you. I mean, the Big Ten's been playing non-conference games forever. Now, I don't think they're as deep. I don't think you do as well. But nobody mentioned that. You'd think that Florida would be better off playing the Citadel instead of Florida State? Or
that's right.
So
the thing is, they don't have to play.
South Carolina playing South Carolina State instead of Clemson.
Yeah, and you almost wonder if, listen, I know it sounds crazy, but if the strength of schedule is not rewarded, could some of those rivalries go by the wayside? Look, LSU made their move. This happened, I think, the second week you were gone. The non-conference schedules have been announced now in the coming years, and you've seen them dial it back. It's not going to be Florida State. It's not going to be Clemson.
No, not with but you're going to keep the rivalries. You think of Florida State's at risk?
I think that they would have to get really screwed.
Georgia's never had problems with Georgia Tech. So
No,
they're not
I think they'd have to get really screwed. It would have to be one of those years where a loss to Florida State kept them out of the playoff for them to consider it. I think it's unlikely, but. Look, LSU scaling it back from Clemson and Florida State to SMU and Houston, and that's straight out of Lane Kiffin. You know, he has been a vocal.
What did he say now?
Well, he's been a vocal opponent of the 9-game schedule, and so it's like, okay, well, if I got to play 9 and I got to play a non-conference power team, I'm not going to the top of the food chain. You saw who Ole Miss played when he was there. The non-conference power team was Georgia Tech. A couple of their weak years.
They played,
and I think they played Louisville this year.
They got Wazoo last year.
Wazoo was still counted.
Wazoo gave them
and Wazoo gave them a big game, but they didn't exactly go try to schedule Ohio State and Clemson and teams like that. No. So LSU is going to scale it back, and it's probably we said it all the time. Texas was out of the playoff last year because they lost to Ohio State.
If he whines one more time about their schedule,
he's
tiresome. He's gotten whiny, huh?
Yeah, he's very much.
Man,
so.
You're UT. You got enough advantages, dude.
He was.
I mean, really?
He was never,
arguably the most advantages in the country.
He was never Mr. Congeniality to start with. Okay,
Charlie, I don't remember him being so whiny when he was at Washington or USC or.
He kind of was. Less people were listening.
Do you remember him being so whiny?
Not quite this bad, no. No, he's gotten worse. There's no question about that. And the Texas Tech thing is not helping because they're stoking the fire over there every chance they get.
He's taking over Texas. An 011 program right now, and he's opening up with LSU.
Yeah.
I mean.
The other things out of media days, it largely got resolved on Friday when the Big Ten and the SEC finally – said we'll put our support behind the Save College Sports Act. Now it looks like it's going to get to the floor. Well, it's going to pass.
Kemp, he was excited.
And the White House had to lean on some people, but they did. They got that done. Friday was a big day, man. After we got off the air, between the act actually getting the support of the two leagues and the judge's decision that allowed the class of 22 to come back for a fifth year, a lot happened.
You believe in a strategic timing there after pretty much everybody's roster set. So you don't have exactly some impact players. I mean, guys that have not signed a deal with the NFL.
Right. This was more of a basketball. This was more of a
roster set in football. Obviously, basketball.
Most of the plaintiffs in this thing were now it affects the football players too, but most of the plaintiffs were basketball players.
Gotcha.
So they've got a little bit more time.
It's not as big of a stick.
No, it's not. And I read a quote. It was an anonymous GM, but it was a power league. Said, "Listen, there might be 3 guys that fit this category because they can't be with an NFL team, and they have to go back to the school that they went to, and then they clarified it yesterday by saying." You can't exceed the roster limits. See, Friday they were going to let you exceed the roster limits to do this, and now you can't. The judge clarified her opinion yesterday. So I don't know that there's going to be a whole slew of football players. I think the basketball guys and even some of the baseball guys will be affected. I saw Eddie Furness posted his son Will is in this class of class of 22, so he could come back and play. Yeah, if he wants to go back to Ole Miss for another year.
Why wouldn't he?
Probably no reason. He
probably
will. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Braden Simpson entered the portal after the ruling. We'll see how that
Speaking
works.
Of college baseball, how many guys has Jay Johnson got? Huh?
Logan Schmidt.
I mean, it was the last one, like top LSU recruit, a high whatever chooses LSU over JUCO. Wait, what? Shouldn't he?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
absolutely.
Son, if you think in JUCO, we need to question your academic eligibility anyway.
I was wondering who was advising him on the JUCO, and I know why. It's to put himself back in the draft next year, but you want to talk about a risk. My goodness, you go pop an elbow, and that's it, man. At the JUCO, you're left with no insurance.
You could pop one here just as
You
easy.
could pop one here, but you got guaranteed NIL money here. I mean, there's a nice
Okay,
soft
so
landing
he's committed
spot.
to 3 years as opposed to 1?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's the deal. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah.
All right.
He
still
just turned 18. He reclassified actually.
So baseball's the only one that does that, huh?
Yeah, and that could very well change with the new CBA. The real drop of the ball was Cleveland. Who takes somebody in the top 2 rounds and doesn't have a deal in place? That was the real shocker.
Well, you did see, as as the trade deadline, and Tarik Skubal is a big deal, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later. But you did see one of the names, and I said, man, he was fading, and I just don't know how much he has left. But that opens the door for an LSU pitcher to come right on up.
Kevin Gausman?
No,
No, you're talking about
Gosman's pitching the
Seattle.
World Series.
Oh,
last year,
you
Charlotte.
mean Cade Anderson?
Yeah.
To go to Seattle. Yeah, he's just absolutely
Castillo.
lit up.
Castillo, Seattle's got one of the best rotations in baseball.
I thought you meant for a trade. Why I said
for
Gausman.
most of the time. And shoot, Max can tell you this. I mean, Texas made their rotation as a 4-game series look like garbage. I mean, they batted them around. Now Texas, that was their one little peak. But no, Castillo, I'd mentioned this to you month or two ago. I said, man, I just don't know what he has left. He's a fade guy. He's been and he's up in age. And man, Anderson, he's doing well. It might be, well, he's being mentioned now, to maybe get the call up. I don't see how he doesn't. I mean, this has made it easier for them to ship. Castillo's lack of performance, he's getting up in age. How many guys, when we see decline, reverse it at this age? And you got a guy who's done everything he's supposed to, and he was close to MLB ready when he came out. He had a variety of pitches.
He would not have looked out of place had they put him right in that bullpen.
And he's looked great,
10 starts, a 1.20 ERA, and a WHIP that is not just below 1, but well below 1, 0.65. Now, that's AA, but still, you can't pitch any better than that. That's 119 strikeouts in 82 innings.
Seattle needs a little injection. They need a spark. They are they're an underperforming team. The problem is now the local team down the road, 4.5 hours, the Houston Astros, they're on fire. And, well, one of the reasons they got Pena back, Jordan is probably, it's Triple Crown right now. The season ends today, he wins a Triple Crown. How many times has that happened? He's been that kind of player. And, enough of their lineup. But they need some pitching. But still, they've never played better than what they're playing right now. I think they won 11 or 12. Yeah, it's 11 or 12. Yeah. 11 and 1.
Swept the Rangers, who were leading the division, and now they lead the division.
Yeah.
We're here at Chris's Specialty Foods, man. Looking forward to...
ate some boiled peanuts. I'm back in Louisiana, baby. You guys did some spiced boiled peanuts over here at Chris. I love seeing Miss Tressie as we come in at the Capitol Gala.
That's
very. Well, she looks sharp.
Very well dressed. It's a beautiful.
She likes to dress up. Okay,
yeah,
she's been to Del Mar Breeders' Cup, and she had a different outfit every day. She likes to dress up, and no, she's such a. She and Randy are such easy to deal with, man, and so of course they've been involved in athletics for a long time. They're kids as well, and so. It's good to have this partnership with them over here at Chris's Specialty Foods, but man, it's starting to come in already, man. That only lunch is served at our cafe, and it's very, very popular. So Monday can be kind of a slow restaurant day to where kind of half the restaurants, half and half, are kind of closed on Monday. Not over here at Chris's Specialty Foods, always good. And we got $10 Tuesdays. $10 Tuesdays, so our lunch specials. We have one feature lunch special that is $10 on Tuesday as well. And Charlie, it's 11 o'clock, so you see the cars starting to pile in over here on Highland Road.
Max, how's
the bartender doing across the street? He's behaving.
Patrick
put out the damn cannolis when I was gone.
He misses you a tremendous amount. Can't wait to see. Last Friday was like, oh, Jimmy's not here again.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see him on Friday.
I see you've picked up in the sarcasm department since I've been gone.
Yes. Live at Chris's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
Back here, Chris is live at lunch. Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. It's brought to you by Supreme Rice, celebrating 90 years in business here in 2026. Support our Louisiana farmers and go to SupremeRice.com. With everybody reporting at some point this week, Jimmy, any of the predictions, most of them matched up with out of media days with the odds. There was a little bit of variation, but not too much. Ole Miss was picked a little higher than what the odds were, and Oklahoma a little bit lower. But most of and LSU fifth. Any takeaways from any of
No, schedule related as well. I did think that Georgia was going to be picked to win it because they got an easier schedule than Texas. I mean, Sarkisian's going to whine about it a lot, like we said, but, I mean, geez, they gave him a cake schedule the first 2 years, and they kind of screwed that up. I heard y'all talking about how Arch Manning after this date had this and that. I mean, okay, he did, and he's improving, and I told you when he was struggling, he's going to be okay. He's got a better offensive line this year, more dangerous weapons. I mean, does that surprise you that University of Texas, with their resources, cannot, put the type of supporting cast around a? When he committed, they were talking about guys were following him to Texas. So, I mean, if you can't take the locked number 1 overall pick in a draft, I mean, just. They're going to have it. But their schedule is tougher. Look at their road trips. You ain't going to Lexington. If you struggled in Lexington and Starkville last year, you might struggle at some of these other places. But they're going to be very, very good and arguably the best roster in football with Ohio State. I wonder if we could put Oregon in that conversation. I mean, I heard a guy talk about, the pros say that, the Oregon quarterback's a better. That's what the pros say, so he's the best in college. No, he's not. And I thought that was a disservice to Trinidad Chambliss, that he was not the preseason first-team quarterback. I don't know if he made second team. Talking
about the All-American team.
I was talking about SEC Media Days.
Yeah, he was.
You said All-American. I said All-SEC.
Yeah, he was.
Arch Manning was first team. He was second.
No, he was first.
Chambliss?
Yeah, he was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chambliss first.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
We talked about it on the show because it was like, this is how it should be, but we wouldn't have been surprised if it was the other way.
He was ready to blast it. He was ready to go. Manning first.
I did see one where he wasn't all SEC first or second team.
One of the magazines?
Yeah, one of the magazines.
Yeah. Well, and I was not concerned about it, but I thought, they may just give it to Manning, and it should be Chambliss based on what they did last year.
I mean, what more does he have to do? Now, does he has to prove it without his coach, right?
Yeah,
his OC,
absolutely.
Right?
Sure, yeah.
Well, he played the playoffs without him, right?
Well, no, technically, without Kiffin, Weiss was back.
Okay.
He went back and called plays, but that's the whole deal. No, at this time last year,
some good competition.
They did. Yeah. Nobody knew who he was at this time last year, and he's this good. Is he going to be that good without Lane Kiffin? I don't know.
He's short.
He should be the first.
It's going to hurt his draft stock.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it, but this is college, and reward the players who perform. I mean, he did more for his team than any other quarterback in college football last year. You don't think he did?
Yeah, I wanted to think about it first.
A better running game, a better defense, special teams, the whole thing. I mean, come on.
What would they have finished last year if Simmons is quarterback the whole year? Just on a guess.
What was their record, Charlie?
They were
11-1.
They were 11-1. Yeah,
11-1?
They lost to Georgia in the regular
had a couple
season.
more losses.
Okay,
couple.
Keep
in mind, was it his first start? Arkansas is driving. Arkansas is 1-7 or 0-8 in the league last year.
Yeah, 0-8.
They're driving it like at the 30 and fumble. 20 inside the 30, and with under a minute to go, and they got enough time, but they're losing at home to Arkansas. That's how. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, the coaches poll comes out tomorrow. been waiting to ask you this. Do you think Notre Dame's going to be number one?
No.
Okay. Who do you think will be number one?
That will be Texas or Ohio State.
Okay.
I think Indiana will be top 5. I think Oregon will be top 5. I think Georgia will be top 5. But Notre Dame, I know it's just, were they minus 800 to make it to the playoffs?
Yeah, and they're the
just,
current favorite to win the national championship by a little bit.
They used to play Michigan every year. They used to play USC every year. They don't. They kept Michigan State. They kept Purdue. They used to play Penn State on a regular basis.
The AP poll won't be out for a couple of weeks, but we know how the AP voters sometimes will vote this, not who they think necessarily is the best team at the beginning, but who they think will finish, okay? And so if you look at Notre Dame's schedule, they almost can't miss the playoffs. I mean, it would the bus would have to miss the stadium for them to miss the playoffs. And so if you're basically gifted a spot in the playoffs, that's why they're the favorites, small favorites, over Ohio State and Texas to win the national championship. How many people will vote them number one based on that alone? Because you can say, well, I voted Notre Dame number one in the preseason. I can vote them number one all year long.
Where's Phil Steele have them?
Number one.
Yeah, because he's schedule related.
Schedule related.
Where's he have him in his power rankings? Probably third.
Max, look, I don't know right off the top, but you know how some of those AP poll voters, we talked about this for years.
Yeah, there's prediction.
You do it on the prediction.
Yeah, no, they're going to get some votes. But I don't think they're going to be number one.
I'd put them number one, personally.
Do you think they're the best team, or are you doing that based on you think that they're going to win all their games?
I think they're most likely to win it all.
Yeah, it's a prediction.
That's a combination. That's what that's a combination of all that.
He's victim of a lot of votes. He's rewarding a team for a bad schedule.
What would they be if they were playing Ohio State week 1 in Atlanta? Field goal underdog? More than that? Less than that?
Ohio State is opening season games just over a field goal.
Phil Steele has Notre Dame second, less than a half point behind Ohio State.
They're good. They're good.
I'm not going to be shocked if they're number one tomorrow. I wouldn't go so far as to say I think it will, but I'm not going to be shocked if they are. And I'm definitely not going to be shocked if they're number one in the AP poll.
What poll tomorrow?
Coaches poll.
Coaches won't have them number one. Coaches won't have them number one.
They're more likely to be number one in the AP poll than the coaches.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And how about Notre Dame? It's everywhere. Mike and Mike was doing a show on before us nationally. Okay, and what are they talking about? What are they? I mean, just they got the new shiny car on the block. Tommy Bowden, when he took the Clemson job, part of it is I have to have my own football operations facility. Football-only facility. Not shared with the volleyball team, not shared with the baseball team. Football only. Weight room, coach's office, everything. For indoor practice.
Everything that Saban wanted when he got here.
They built one.
Yeah. Oh, they did?
Nice.
Just throw it on any social media, and you will see it. $100 million to get you nice. But how long we been doing this?
30 years on the facilities.
I've also heard another key term used up there: alignment.
Alignment's a popular word.
How about that? How the alignment work here?
Worked pretty good.
It did?
Well, after they got.
I heard alignment a lot when Kelly got hired.
That's what I'm.
Kelly did not work out the way he was playing.
I thought you meant from the time that the governor got involved. Yeah. Well, now the governor, the president, the athletic director, and the head coach seem to be in alignment.
He used alignment.
Alignment was his favorite word. Yeah, that alignment didn't work as well.
Yeah, being lazy is not part of the alignment.
That alignment didn't work as well.
Naples is not aligned.
It's a heck of a commute for him to go out and call games in the Mountain West, huh? I mean, from Naples, Florida.
But it's another example. What they're doing for Brian Kelly's replacement, not that they did for Brian Kelly. And I'm sorry, it's just what their alignment is, and it's very, very simple. Notre Dame football history. They're aligned administratively. They, okay, let's go. All right? And if they want to play, Notre Dame's a valuable degree. If they want to go they want to go all academics, well, it's not their football teams have not performed as well on the field. But the facilities and all this, and then the schedule, so bad. So bad. Yeah, it's aligned pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're making I mean, can they drop? Can they drop Miami and pick up Central Michigan? Huh? Is that possible? I mean, they can.
That's an ACC. No, that's an ACC game.
The ACC will let them do it. No, we're going to kick you out. Okay, we're out.
Right.
No, we're dropping Miami and we're going to take Central Michigan.
You realize that they could lose to Miami by 35 points and still make the playoffs? Not that they're going to, but they could. They could get completely blown out in that game.
They got a good team because
we
can't tell. Because just like last year, who's their best win?
Last year, A&M.
They didn't beat A&M.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They didn't beat them on the last play of the game.
At Pitt, probably.
At Pitt. That's right.
Pitt.
Yeah.
Okay.
A&M was the best team that they played last year. Yeah, they lost. 40.
No, Miami was the best team
41.
they played last year.
Yeah, Miami.
Yeah, Miami went to Texas A&M and beat them.
35 yards from winning the championship.
Yeah, they were. That was the Miami Texas A&M game.
Do you need a day off on?
I do. The Miami Texas A&M game. Boy, I'd like to have seen that thing played in normal weather.
Yeah, that win was.
A&M had a good chance to beat them.
That win was brutal.
They were at home.
That win was brutal. There's no doubt. I mean, and what do we say all the time? With snow, with rain, with nothing affects a football game like wind.
The wind,
and
yeah.
it was just. I mean, the guy kicked a field goal. He started left of the upright. It went right.
Oh, yeah, it took a hard right turn.
It's just
hard
stuff
right.
like that.
Notre Dame does have to go to Provo. I think this is a sneaky spot. I'm not saying it's hard.
There we go. That's your tough one. Your toughest trip is to Provo. Enough said.
One of my favorite things that I've read in this talking season is the week after that game, BYU's got to go to Central Florida. This is a Paul Stone special.
Who's at Central Florida now?
Who did they hire?
Malzahn's gone.
No, it's the guy from Nebraska again.
Oh, Scott Frost. Yeah,
Frost is back. He replaced Malzahn.
That was one of my favorite things I read during talking season. Paul Stone said, this is one of my favorite plays before the season even starts. The week after BYU hosts Notre Dame, biggest game on campus since whenever, and then they got to fly across the country to play UCF.
Up my alley. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds at Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. A full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana has just grown and grown over the years. The great staff over at Legacy Title, Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Mariana Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith, buying, building, or refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds at Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at Lunch 104.5, ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Ot and Yanni. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
Come by and see us here at Chris's Specialty Foods. A nice lunch today. The chicken Alfredo, the blackened chicken Alfredo is your lunch special here today. Tomorrow, $10 Tuesdays is the pork sliders. We've had the pork sliders before. They are outstanding. Later in the week, New Orleans-style muffaletta, beef stew on Thursday, and the lobster feu d'oeuf on Friday, the New England-style lobster
it's a staple.
rolls. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's so popular. Keep it Lobster Fridays over here.
NFL, everybody in camp. Hall of Fame game coming up on Thursday. Hall of Fame inductions this weekend. Drew Brees going in with the Saints. It's been actually a little bit newsy with the Saints here in the last few days. Not all of it great. The
Brzee,
the second opinion on Brian Brzee confirmed what they had feared, which is the season-ending ACL surgery is going to happen this week. And Jalen Polk retired yesterday, which came completely out of nowhere. He's only 24 years old.
What was his role going to be?
He was going to have a hard time making a team.
Okay.
It was because it's a crowded wide receiver room. You gave Olave the contract, so he's now your highest paid player, and Tyson is your number one pick, so that's the first two. Valet, who they got in the trade from Denver last year, they drafted two other receivers. You had Polk. If they keep five, then I think he was going to have a hard time making the team. But he was impressing in some of the offseason workouts. So I didn't really get that. It's something going on in his personal life. You're 24 years old. You got a chance to make an NFL roster. He was a second-round pick. Yeah,
with the Patriots.
Second-round pick 2 years ago.
And they cut him, or
they traded him to the Saints. It was a pick swap.
They traded him for him and a 7th for a 6th.
Yeah, it was a
so
pick.
Essentially, the Saints traded back in the draft for nothing.
They didn't get anything out of it. And they knew when they traded for him last year he was out for the year, but they certainly didn't expect him to retire. Olave got the money. We went through that on Friday.
Right.
You and I have talked about that for
what
a
you
while.
gonna do, man? I mean, he's a proven player. I mean, of course, you roll the dice, but I mean, this is a team and an organization that needs to roll the dice and win a few times. I mean, I know we're ready to, and look, I know it was kumbaya when I was going anointing, but can we beat a team that finishes with a winning record? I mean, that's all. That's all.
I think they'll have two chances to start the season.
Let's get one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll tattletale on Charlie. Mickey Loomis was in first class last week.
I was hoping he had missed the show that day.
No, well, get it while I'm going because there's no doubt the timing. But the Saints are improved. Yeah, look, and by the way, nobody in Del Mar knows that the Saints came in there and practiced, by the way. I mean, it's just not on their radar. But for him to do that, that's such a big step. He's thrown from the pocket. We've seen quarterbacks in their rookie year has some success with their legs. And then they go like, Vince Young was the offensive rookie of the year. He's terrible. I mean, not that year. I mean, he made a bad team, competitive and got them to a playoff game. They lost to the Chargers that year. Okay, that's fine. We've seen others. We've seen one like Michael Vick do it to where and the real outlier is Jackson. Okay, because he was with his legs first, and he was just hanging around, and he's gotten a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Still, quarterback with his statistics, his production, his wins, they've had a lot of home losses in the playoffs.
The playoffs have been tough.
Yeah, I mean, and been to the play. Josh Allen's never been to the Super Bowl. It's another one, but nobody's going to deny it. But throwing from the pocket, it allows you to build on it. That's why Burrow can be so good. That's why Stafford is so good. There's very few of them out there. This one, Chuck might have it, and now he's embraced the leadership. Now he's got a ceiling. Where his mobility it's okay. It's not. He's not going to extend plays a ton for you. I know he had the run for the touchdown against Tampa Bay. That's all fine and dandy and whatever. He's not going to make a living on that. He's not going to even have like Joe Burrow a type of mobility. But everything there's some. But Charlie, we got to beat a team that has a winning record. Okay, I mean there were some teams. I mean those wins last year combined 34 games under 500. You count Carolina twice, as you should.
Yeah.
That's 2. Tampa Bay. But, I mean, you had a couple of 4-13 teams in the AFC that you beat. Tennessee and the Jets.
How many teams with a winning record did he even play? The Rams in the first game, I don't know if he played another game against a team with a winning record.
Patriots didn't have a winning record?
He didn't start that game.
Okay. Well, that's
for
fair.
the games he started.
That's okay. I mean.
I don't think he did. That was the only one. The Rams.
Yeah, the Rams and
the first game, which was an impossible situation.
Sure, he was thrown into the fire.
But as far as this guy quitting the pickup for New England, dude, who was he throwing to at the end? That's part of the equation too, where you got to give him a bump. He was playing with a JV. So if he couldn't find you last year, I mean, and he was with the Patriots, but still, I mean, there were some guys that kind of showed a little bit that they might have a chance to contribute in some fashion. You're not going to go to the playoffs and win with them, but let's guard our optimism though. What is their over under?
7.5.
I'll take the over, but still 7.5 still tells you that. Now listen, they're a fashionable pick, because they've been bad, and so
I'm anticipating the backlash also when they start 0-2 because I think they're going to start 0-2.
They're going to be underdogs.
They're going to be a touchdown. We looked it up last week. They're a touchdown underdog in
Detroit.
both of those, and in Baltimore in week 2. So they're probably going to be 0-2. But after that, you got a stretch of six home games out of 7 weeks, or 6 games in 7 weeks where you don't play on the road.
Baltimore's more winnable since, you've got a long stretch for that head coach that's gone now. In his first year, you catch him early in the year, and I'm just wondering, what kind of impact that's going to have.
And the other big loss that Baltimore had, we talk about when you lose your center. Tyler Linderbaum was one of the best centers in the league
with the Raiders
for the last. Yes, he's with the Raiders now. That's a big transition for a quarterback when you lose your guy, and he was one of the best. So I agree with you. I think that if I had to pick one of the 2 games to win, Baltimore is more likely than Detroit.
What's the more constant? With the constant forever that wasn't there last year with Baltimore. When you think about the Ravens, come on,
the defense.
It's the defense. Yeah. That had to be one of their worst defenses they've ever had. That's nothing on Lamar Jackson there.
Yeah, on John Harbaugh.
I would take Chuck's mobility over Burrow's at this point.
Not me. No.
17 yards per game on the ground last year. Burrow in his career in the NFL is now 11.
I've seen them both.
Sample,
I've seen them both run.
Burrow's
a better runner.
I think Chuck wants to run more.
What's that?
Maybe that's different, but Chuck wants to run a little bit more than Burrow does. Burrow doesn't try
He's
to
a
run
rookie.
much.
You got to get that out your system. No. I disagree, Max.
Okay.
That's okay.
That's all right.
You know? We know when Chuck runs it 30 times in a college football game.
Well, that college, yeah. Burrow ran a lot more in college than he does now.
The defense has had a little bit better go of it in the first week, which is normal.
Let me know when Chuck busts off about a 40-yard against Georgia.
Tampa Bay, yeah.
Tampa Bay. It was wide
Another
open.
Come on.
It was wide. Burrow had to make some jukes in the interior line to get in the secondary in that game at Tiger Stadium. He ran the ball. People forget it. He ran the ball so much more.
He did.
Than, his first year. And when you talk about getting guys for that second year, transfer quarterbacks, it's a big deal, man.
That game against Texas A&M is the one I remember.
So your boy in his second full year at Oregon is going to take off? Man, they got everything in place.
Dante Moore.
Yeah, they do.
But you want to talk about schedules in the Big Ten? Who's the best 3 teams in the Big Ten?
Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon.
Thank you. Who doesn't play them all?
Oregon?
Oregon's one of them, Charlie.
Oh, who doesn't play them all? I have no idea.
Matt Campbell's team.
Penn State.
Oh, Penn State?
Again, Penn State.
Iowa State East.
Yeah.
He took way more players than just about anybody.
Who do they play non-conference?
Probably nobody. Last year they had a JV schedule in September before they finally.
Marshall, Temple, Buffalo. They're at Temple though. You got to give them credit. They're going on the road.
Yes.
All the way to Philadelphia.
They'll have only 95% of the fans in the stadium for that one.
Got to give them credit. They're 11-4.
Be playing in Philadelphia against Temple, Charlie. What's the crowd like? They get credit for a road game for that?
What does Temple average for a home game?
100.
Nobody goes see it. That's one of those.
That
deals
is a crazy week schedule. That's worse than Notre Dame's.
That is.
Your toughest game is at USC.
Yeah, and they don't play.
Toughest road game at USC.
They don't play.
Penn State. No, their 2 toughest road games are Michigan and Washington.
Okay, Michigan.
They host
we
USC.
don't know how good.
I think your boy's going to do a good job with him. I think Whittingham's going to do a good job with Underwood. I think he
talked him up.
He has taken some mobile quarterbacks and created some easy throwing opportunities through. He's going to run him a little option. He's going to run him a little bit. And he's going to put that pressure. What Mullen did with Dak at Mississippi State to kind of get him over that, throwing. He's going. I think it's a recipe for. We know him. Now the problem is, if Underwood is not receptive to his coaching, he won't put up with it. That's one of the things. I don't think he's old school enough to where like he feel like he could baby him. He can't coach him anymore because if he's receptive to his coaching, that kid will be different. He will be.
Whittingham went out of his way to stand in front of him at media days last week. Basically, I'm paraphrasing here. He was thrown into the deep end of the pool at the very beginning. The expectations were probably a little bit high. Now, I would say there was a reason for that. Okay, this was one of the most highly sought-after recruits and one of the most public recruiting battles, and the amount of money was, at the time, very eye-turning, okay, head-turning. he was going to have to put up with that. If you want the $12 million, you want the owner of Oracle to come in and buy you, their expectations come with that. So I don't feel sorry for him at all. But Whittingham's got a point that was everybody expected, in Michigan, expected him to come in and be an all-conference type quarterback, and he was not that as a freshman, and it was probably unfair or unrealistic, not unfair. Because I think it was fair. When you get all that money and you go through all that, you're going to have the expectations come with it. But it's unrealistic to expect him to be fantastic right out of the chute.
But he wasn't coached. He was poor last year. They threw him, but even for a true freshman, I've seen some true freshmen look better than what he did.
He saw flashes. It was never here and there.
Running?
A little bit running, yeah.
Well, that you can do with no practice at all.
Yeah, you can.
I mean,
and he got, but that Oklahoma game was tough when they had to go on the road right there early in the season.
Oklahoma's defense was good.
Oklahoma's defense was
an impossible situation.
Very, very, very tough out the chute.
No doubt about that. Don't forget our friends at Go Chevrolet. Go Chevrolet in LaPlace. Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Plaquemine. Go Chevrolet West in Plaquemine. And Go Ford in Wayland, Mississippi. My buddies Lee Carney and Nick Richard doing a wonderful job. And, boy, we started with one. Just Go Chevrolet in LaPlace. And now up to 4 in the Go Automobile dealership family. I got my Chevy Tahoe from Go Chevrolet in LaPlace. You've heard me talk about their concierge service department, which is unbelievable convenient. We were here at Chris's Specialty Foods when I needed some work done, some electrical work done on the vehicle. They got the computer in all the new vehicles, and one needs some work sometimes. And they picked it up and told me what was wrong with it, approved the work. They did it, paid for it over the phone, delivered it back to my house when I was back home later that day. I mean, can you get any more convenient than that? Didn't miss a beat. Brought me a loaner to use to get back home after work. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. It's a Go Automobile dealership family.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
We're into American football now that everybody's going to camp. But one football, the other football, soccer.
Still summer.
One note here, Max. New contract for the coach.
Pochettino.
Pochettino. I keep mispronouncing. Pochettino got a new contract through the World Cup in 30.
Yeah, he was offered it basically during the tournament. The U.S. men's national team had offered it to him. I will rain on your parade a little bit here, Charlie. I don't think this really means much of anything. I still think he's not going to be here come 2030. This is.
Well, what are they paying him for then? I'm serious. I mean,
for now, he doesn't have a job in Europe. They would like to keep him till 2030. There is reportedly some mutual protection if the relationship ends early. But I think most everyone in world soccer believes Pochettino wants another big club job where you're actually coaching year-round. This is like a part-time gig, and he is younger to be just doing a part-time gig. Germany just hired Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp was retired from club football. He didn't want it anymore, but he's able to take a national team job because there's less stress on you. You don't have the players for all that long. Ultimately, rarely do coaches go a second cycle. The last 3 U.S. coaches that got offered a second contract didn't even end up making it to the World Cup. They were fired by then. Now, I don't think Pochettino will be fired by then, and maybe he can bring them to some level of World Cup qualifying stages. But the likelihood that he will be the coach in 2030 is very, very slim.
Why hadn't he gotten? He's not that caliber. That's what everybody says.
No, he is the caliber.
Should be a big club team, professional club team.
The timeline didn't work. He went to the World Cup. Everyone had basically hired their coaches by the time the World Cup came around. Rarely do you have a coaching hire that comes after the World Cup at this point. So to me, he's in the next coaching cycle.
I mean, his credentials were established before.
At that point, I think he was committed to the 2026 World Cup. They paid him very well, and it was a home World Cup. They wanted to make sure at least he could go till then.
None of the premier club coaches do both.
They're not going to be a club manager at the same time as a national team now. So this is a part-time gig to me, and I think Pochettino is going to take this for now. He's going to be the U.S. men's national team for now until some big club fires their manager next year, and he'll probably take that
What's
job.
next? I mean, what's the next event?
What's his buyout?
Well, then
You laughing? I mean,
No,
you
it's-
put the
it's-
guy under contract, but he's going to
he
leave
said-
the
well, he
contract,
said
and there's no
mutual
penalty.
mutual
Probably,
protection.
probably.
the
You said
report
for-
is mutual protection, so I guess
Whatever
you would have
that
to pay
means.
some of that back, yes.
Okay.
I think you've got the Gold Cup coming up, which means very little.
Which
so
is
he'll
when?
be
We
there
We don't
for
have
that
any
next year,
transparency with the
2027
national
summer.
team in the mutual protection.
I guess it'll be reported. It hasn't been reported out yet what the buyout will be. I would imagine.
I
it'll
like
be.
him. I think he's. I know. I enjoyed him. When he was talking, even some of the locker room access. But I do think he got a little bit of a pass on the lack of adjustments and his team not being mentally prepared to play in Belgium game. And I think he's. If he's going to get some of the credit, he deserves some. Part of your job as a coach is to inspire your players and to get them to respond. He didn't.
No, that's completely fair.
I think he's an inspirational character.
I like
he
it.
He didn't get there. Look, I think it would be great. I would be ecstatic if he's here in 2030. I'm just being realistic.
So when's the next? The Gold Cup is when?
The Gold Cup's in the summer next year, 2027.
So
but it means very little.
There's no tournament. There's nothing that they're going to play in as a national team other than some friendlies between now and next summer.
They'll play the
tournament-
North American.
No, they'll play some friendlies.
Was it
basically.
CONCACAF
The
or whatever?
Copa?
Or?
The CONCACAF Gold Cup will be next summer, and then they've got the Copa America will be in 2028. So they've got 2 years until there's a big tournament, which is assuming they even play in it. There's no guarantees they'll play in the Copa America because that's kind of a South American
I would like to
tournament.
say thank you for one thing. You said that he's a young coach. He's my age, so thank you for calling him
54.
young.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's young.
that's-
He's
Thank
been
you
away
for
from
saying
the
that.
club.
I appreciate
Damn, Max.
You're in your coaching prime, Charlie.
What's this guy getting $6 million a year or something?
He was getting it directly from a booster as well. So it was
Just like college
basically,
football.
Yeah, it really
There you
was.
go.
It was one person was
Cody
hired.
Campbell?
Cody Campbell was hired. Mauricio Pochettino. So they have extended him.
Where
But
does
again,
that compare to? Where does he rank in the World Cup coaches in salary?
He was one of the highest.
One
last
of the
year.
highest.
One of the highest.
One of the highest.
Home World Cup, that tends to happen, yeah.
We are here at Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road across from Rufino's. Come on by and see us for lunch today and every day with the deli menu here at Chris's Specialty Foods. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
Here at Chris's Specialty Food Live at lunch. Come on by and see us here today. Our lunchtime menu, including the chicken Alfredo today. The blackened chicken Alfredo, $10 Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, the pork sliders is tomorrow. And, we've changed locations here a little bit in Chris as we moved to the other side of the aisles. They got even more refrigerator units here and more stuff, man. I didn't think they could have any more stuff. They got even more stuff.
It's crazy. I couldn't believe that when we came in.
Always looking forward to
chicken, the pork.
the
We
chicken
love,
is fantastic.
Man, I grew up on those deboned stuffed chickens, man. Whether it's the shrimp and rice or the boudin and stuff like that. So the chickens are great. You got I love the deboned, so the thigh fillets that are seasoned, marinated, bacon wrapped, jalapeno cheese cream stuffed. Charlie,
That sounds
on the green
real
egg
good.
from Thibodeau's store, you put them on the Pierre Part store, you put them on, they slow cook to perfection. And it's just kind of, and I don't, Charlie, if I eat bacon on everything, but you get a little bit of that bacon flavor. I don't even eat it, but you still have that flavor that it has on it. Man, some of the beef that is done. So we got Wagyu ground meat. You do Wagyu burgers that you want. So all kinds of different stuff for the grill. Man, it was, I don't know what y'all complain about. Weather was fine yesterday, 85 with a little breeze. So what the hell y'all complaining about?
I was not.
Huh?
I wasn't
Got
complaining
to
at all.
82 one day at Del Mar.
I was in the pool.
It was breezy this weekend.
Made it a little bit easier.
Yeah, Saturday was very breezy. Very breezy.
Good
Trying to
golf
blow the
weather.
yard. Golf, yes. I'm blowing the clippings back in my face, and you're hitting the golf ball sideways. So, yes. At least you hit it.
No kidding. Good night. On Friday, when we had Bruce Marshall on the show, made this comment. See if you agree
All right.
with this. that if Skubal went to the Dodgers, that it would increase the amount of the lockout that is coming this offseason. And I think we said 30%. It'll be 30% longer if Skubal goes to the Dodgers and if they win the World Series. You can divide those up. I think the damage is already probably done with this trade. And I can't just blame the Dodgers. You got to blame why did 28 other teams not make an offer?
Because they want a short-time sacrifice for a long-term goal. They'll take it, and there was a weak offer that the Dodgers got away with. And there's some other teams that certainly could have used it. A lot of teams could have used it, but they don't really. Do they have intentions? Are they going to be able to compete with the Dodgers getting Skubal long term? No, you know that he's going to end up there long term. You know
think,
that,
yeah.
Okay,
you would think, yeah.
But to me as a fan, I mean, do you want status quo or do you want a salary cap in Major League Baseball?
Not only I
want a salary cap. I want a competitive balance.
I do. I want a salary floor more than I want the cap.
That's part of it.
Yeah,
but
that's
which
the big
the
part.
guys like Bryce Harper just don't understand.
The cap of it to stop the Dodgers from spending all this money, and this is not a bunch of money in the grand scheme of things. What they're renting him for is like $9 million. I want the floor. I want the Pirates and the Twins to have to spend some money.
Well, yes, Charlie. Yes, yes, and yes, yes. I want that anything for competitive balance. I want the Pirates, maybe still with the Dodgers, even with the higher floor, with a lower cap. Will the Dodgers still outspend the Pirates? But it's just going to be more competitive.
Yeah.
And so I've always thought that we're going to have a work stoppage, a lockout, whatever you strike, however you want to dub it, whatever it is. But I don't know if you can go from 90 to 100%, but yeah, and I think it might lengthen it. But I think it improves the chance of having a salary cap and raising the floor. It improves the chances of having. I think this was a little bit of collusion here. I don't think this is just by accident.
I was about to ask.
I just don't. I can't. You can't. Somebody can't offer more for that for Skubal for a run to put them over the top. You tell me the Tampa Bay Rays can't. You tell me the Boston Red Sox can't.
The Brewers with a team.
Brewers bad example because Brewers got great pitching.
Okay.
Great, not just starting pitching.
Okay.
Great bullpen.
Yeah.
Nobody has both.
The reason I brought up the Brewers, not only because of where they are, they did this with CC Sabathia. Now, they didn't make the World Series, but he was worth every bit that they paid. Now, we're going back about almost 20 years now.
Who picked him up?
When the Brewers, when they got him from Cleveland for that stretch run that year.
Oh, I don't remember.
Like
CC
08.
Sabathia with the Brewers.
He was there for about 3 months. Maybe not even that much.
I know. I remember.
And he was lights out, and then he signed with the Yankees in the offseason. But
right.
he was terrific. So they've done this before. Again, you're going back.
That's almost like
20.
Randy Johnson with the Astros.
Randy Johnson
was he
with
only
the Astros.
the 3-month period?
He was 10-1.
I know, but was he only that
roughly? Yeah,
it was only that stretch.
That's it. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it's the same thing.
And they didn't make the World Series
Where
either.
did he sign next year, with Arizona?
He went to Arizona, yeah.
He came from
Seattle.
Okay.
And look, that was a great pickup for Houston. They were trying to get over the hump, and he just ran into
Kevin Brown.
Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown. I mean,
you played in the Astrodome.
They
where
lost.
You can win 1-0, 2-1.
And that was the score. It was 1-0. The game that they.
And Kevin Brown
lost.
beat the Marlins too.
Yeah, he was
beat the Marlins when they beat the Braves.
He
right?
was unhittable. That postseason. So,
and who got him eventually?
The Dodgers.
Yes, very good.
That was when Frank
Frank
McCourt wasn't even owning the team.
This is just a joke. I mean, your top 3 in your lineup are Hall of Famers. I mean, this is how many teams in the history of baseball have that. They've got their pitch, and they've utilized the Japanese connection, okay? It used to be the Mexican connection that we used. Fernando and all the players. They had more, Mexican international scouts. Now they've got more invested in Japanese, and Asian scouts. And so it's just and they're deferring the payments to Shohei, And from the Tigers' perspective, they got to take what they can get because do you want to be Shohei Ohtani with the Angels? You get nothing.
You get nothing, yeah.
And they've had him before, and they've had him for these one-game playoffs or these shortened series, and he pulls himself out of the game.
And theoretically,
like 6th, 7th inning.
Theoretically, they could sign him next year. Right now, I mean,
Detroit.
Theoretically, Detroit could.
Yeah, well,
everybody
knew. Everybody knows they're not. Everybody knew the Angels were not.
Right.
And so the Angels were like, "We can't get rid of them. Well, you got to get something." But to get that weak of an offer, that week to get him for that cheap, I mean, usually you got to give up. When I was in San Diego, they got Soto, Juan Soto. It was a big deal to go with Machado. Okay, well, who does Washington have now? Got 2 All-Stars. Wood's going to be top 3 or 4 in MVP, and Abrams, C.J. Abrams, is an All-Star this year. I mean, he might hit 35 home runs. Wood is phenomenal. He is phenomenal. So I think he leads the league in runs scored. I don't know why they get the best home run hitter, but they do that sometimes. Schwarber's leading off. He's leading off. I'd like to hit more 2- and 3-run homers than solo shots, but I digress. But no, I think it's going to be crappy. I think we're going to miss a big chunk of the season next year. But I think in the end we're going to have a better sport. It's got to do something, and it has done some things. Man, the pace of the games are so much better. They're putting the ball in play. It's the only time we could tools. Well, the only time you could tell what a player had, what tools he has, was the ball is in play. And how much actual time? What is it? A minute of actual time when the ball is in play in a baseball game? Minute and a half? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so. We don't get to see a guy's glove. We don't get to see, his arm. We don't get to see the instincts, them missing cutoff guys, and not keeping a double play in order with less than 2 outs, but you just throwing some wild throw home or the third and letting the guy extend a single to second base. With running instincts. I would tell you, bet right now, one of the most out of shape guys is one of the best baseball running instincts in baseball right now. And I saw him again on Saturday. He got on. Think about one of the sloppiest bodies in MLB. He got on, okay? He steals second. And then there was a ball to the left side. He gets to third as well with one out. I mean, he's putting this as a tie game in the bottom of the ninth. Josh Naylor.
Really?
The Naylor.
Yeah.
For the first baseman, not the little brother, the catcher. There's 2 of them. I think it's Josh, the left-handed hitter for Seattle. This guy's like 90% stealing bases, Charlie. He's like 25 for 28 or something like that. I mean, and he is. And then yesterday, another one, they hit a ball, and he slid and he hit his head and had to come out the game because he's not a real smooth slider. But this guy, but we don't know these type of things, the baseball instincts, baseball IQ, the difference in winning and losing close games unless the ball's in play, and there's way more balls in play with the ABS. Way more. And how many times are they wrong? How many times so it's just they've done so much for a very stubborn sport, and they have to help themselves out here.
The optics of this are terrible, okay? And they're going to get worse if the Dodgers win it again. Which
helps change.
Yeah.
Which helps change. But the PGA. Well, that was a rough spot for the PGA Live, right? Did it force them to make some adjustments?
Very much.
Now, it was a little sentimental watching last Rocket Classic at Detroit.
Tough.
Rocket, Ricky. It's his last win.
Got a standing ovation.
Rocket Ricky, come on, man. But anyway.
Jimmy, Dodgers on the field. Who are you taking?
Dodgers.
Plus 155.
Milwaukee's still so mental. They could not even compete. They are put together more to compete, but the mental part of it, that's asking a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I watched the Dodgers last night. The second time they've been swept in the last couple of weeks, and it doesn't matter.
I have Boston every time, man. What is that, 25-3 or something, or 22-3? I mean, we know the 15 in a row. I did have the 12 games 4 through 15. I wasn't getting, and I didn't like them against. I love playing the Rays. The Rays, to me, I think are probably the best ROI team this year because they seem to be not expensive for such a good team. All year long.
They could have got Skubal. That would have been a strong move.
The Red
for them.
Sox have worked their way into buyers from sellers on this deadline, and Buster Olney's reporting.
Oh, really? They're buyers now?
No doubt.
They got a cushion. They're 4 games out of first place.
There's a deal arranged that they're still working on finalizing with Adley Rutschman from the Orioles, the Red Sox. So
the Orioles are
going
to trade Rutschman.
So what does Contreras play? Yeah, something's.
Why would
you want to talk
Baltimore
about?
trade
You
him?
know what? He is the worst catcher in baseball on appeals.
Oh, really? I
He had his end. He was gone. Charlie, he was great. You want to talk about his instincts, his leadership, his power from both sides of the plate. He's excellent, fielding. His injury, he is not really kind of got a little Aaron Nola in as a position player.
Yeah, I hadn't paid as much.
The injury has had a little bit of a residual effect on him.
Some of the Red Sox.
What's he hitting this year? It's not
Contreras, great. They say he's not a great locker room guy either.
That surprises me.
It does.
You know what?
When
he probably calls guys out too much because he might be a little bit too much of a hard ass.
He was so good at Oregon State, and then
his instincts.
When he was on the national team, they talked him up.
No. That to me more is
that surprises me that.
It's easier to receive leadership from a co-player when he's ripping it up.
Right.
Well, he's not ripping it up
not
since his injury, and this is a little bit of a. I don't know what's going on there.
One last thing about that work stoppage. I don't think that there's any question that when the new CBA is signed, and however much it costs them of next season, it may cost them the whole season, who knows, what the draft will look like when it's over. And this kid, Logan Schmidt, who LSU got this weekend, is a monster get. I would be curious to know how much, what if he had decided to go to the JUCO, he could have gone back in the draft next year, what the draft's going to look like. Okay. Because what they proposed was a massive reduction in the pool money for the domestic draft in favor of the international draft. Now, the union rejected that out of hand, but it's going to come up again. There's going to be some kind of adjustment to it. They may go the route of not taking high school players anymore. They may go to a 2-year requirement in college instead of 3. There's all kinds of things that could happen.
I can't see them ever excluding high school players from the draft.
I think it's unlikely. I think it's unlikely.
They value having them in their system. Now, I know college baseball is caught up a lot with the respect element from Major League Baseball. They still want that top flight kid come in. How many guys we see this year, Charlie, are breaking in to baseball like 2021? The kid, the White Sox, the Detroit, Connor Griffin. I mean, there's so many, man. That really.
I can't predict what it's going to look like. I just know it's going to look different than what it looks like now.
Well, with
they're trying to cut costs.
The real thing that's different and how they're getting away with it and when's the first lawsuit. How are you committed for 3 years in college still? How can you not go to court and reverse that?
Because they're unionized. The union won't allow it. That's their issue. The union rules are that if you go to college, you cannot.
So this MLB rule.
The Players Association.
Yeah, this is MLB rule.
Yeah,
that you go.
The same reason that for years. Remember when? Who was the running back at Ohio State? I'm blanking on his name. Claret. When he challenged the NFL, what he was really challenging was the union because he wanted to go after his freshman year at Ohio State, and he lost. If you remember that suit from 20 years ago.
And NFL, it's still you have to be a certain age.
3 years removed from your
high
school graduation. Yeah, that's the union. That's the union rule.
You telling me for some of those players that will be future union leaders that might be like, man, I was so ready after 2 years. I didn't want to stay my 3rd year in college, but I was ready. That cost me,
I'm sure that they are, but that's been the union stance on it. Is the union going to give a little bit on that in lieu of something else? I don't know. I just know it's going to be a long, ugly work stoppage. That seems unavoidable at this point. Brought to you by the Thibodeau Store, the Pierre Parts Store. Right now, we've got new specials on the website right now, thethibodeaustore.com, on your Broil King Crown barbecue pits, also on pressure washers right now at the Thibodeau Store. Tons of outdoor patio furniture, poolside furniture, cordless power tools, outdoor power equipment, and lumber. If you are building on your property, all of your building materials, including your lumber can be delivered for you. On the website is same-day pickup. Anything on the website, you can pick up the same day. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. Highway 70 in Pierreport, also open in LaRose and Lockport, and online it's thethibodeaustore.com. Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
Back here at Chris's Live at lunch. Well, just as soon as we start
boy, you got this
about
egg thrown in my face right there, huh?
with Notre Dame's schedule, they announced that they're going to go back and play USC again. We're sorry to see this rivalry go.
Oh,
yeah,
come on, man. It's college football.
It really is.
No matter what you do, and I hate Notre Dame. That's fine, whatever. But come on, man. USC Notre Dame is.
I mean, this goes back to the 20s. I mean, when Rockne put them on the train and brought them out to California.
Jeez.
I mean, this is as impactful a rivalry in the 20th century as any.
Give USC credit, too, because USC and UCLA, for whatever you think of them, man, they schedule non-conference tough all the time, was one of the best. And if you look at it now, I'll tell you, this USC non-conference schedule this year is as weak as ever. As weak as ever. And, I mean, you can't blame them. They got to play non-Big Ten games, and they travel 4 or 5, depending on what year it is. So
long trips.
Long trips. Give them credit for getting back into the. Now, who broke this off? I think
it sounded more like it was Notre Dame, but I mean, it depends on who you believe. I mean, USC had more of a reason, I thought, to get out of it.
USC was publicizing that this wasn't what we wanted to do.
Yeah, I think it was more on Notre Dame.
I think that's how I can remember.
You had Lincoln Riley kind of – remember he was kind of backing
He don't
want
to play anybody. Him.
Oh, is his seat a little warm? Has to be.
Yeah, I guess.
Come on, man. I mean, he's making how much? You got to get to the playoffs sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Never been.
Never been.
But they've got some expectations.
Never been.
Year.
By the way, this renewed rivalry is going to be 2 season openers. That was one of the sticking points. Was they didn't want that game scheduled in November where it was. They wanted to move it up in the rotation, and Notre Dame I think kind of balked at that at first, but apparently they've come around. Season openers for the first 2 years of this series.
Really?
That'll be interesting.
That's really good stuff.
That's
really good
different
stuff.
Because that game was always much later in the season.
An hour earlier, we're dropping, Michigan and USC, which on most years is going to be very tough.
Yeah.
Y'all are ready for football, right? We're talking football here.
Max.
We've got some football news.
What the hell's wrong
Football
with you?
news. Okay.
Hall of Fame game between the Cardinals and Panthers on Thursday. We're going to get to watch Kenny Pickett play football on Thursday. He's starting.
Kenny Pickett. Okay.
Do you know who he starts for?
I was about to say, last I heard, Kenny Pickett was with the Raiders.
Who's playing?
Panthers, Cardinals.
Cardinals. He's with the Cardinals.
He's with the Cardinals?
Panthers.
Panthers?
Winner. Chicken dinner.
Well, you had a 50-50 shot at it, and I missed.
Yes. I went through
he played with the Eagles.
He was with the Raiders last year.
But remember, he played those games.
Yeah, he was with the Eagles.
Charlie or Jimmy, remember he was the favorite to be the Browns starting quarterback in Week 1 at one point, Kenny Pickett, and then they cut him. He never played for the Browns, but he was in their training camp when they had like 4 quarterbacks.
I did win that one, Flacco. I didn't know how they could start anybody else. But.
Are you doing a Cleveland show this week?
Maybe, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear Deshaun Watson over the weekend?
I did not.
Oh, this was funny. He said, but I love Cleveland. He goes, I would have no problem signing another contract here.
Oh, wow.
I'll bet.
Where's the dotted line?
I'll bet you didn't.
He didn't say that. With a microphone in front of him?
Yeah. I'm paraphrasing. I mean, I have the exact
they
wording,
when
but
he
that was
got hurt
it.
in the last game he played.
That was it.
Yeah, nobody deserves that, but
he's thrown 6 interceptions the first week of camp.
It's not his fault they gave him. No, it's his fault off the field. But, I mean, I've never seen off the field affect a player on the field like this ever. Ever. I mean,
It would be hard to think about,
because some guys when they just can't stay out of trouble off the field, and so they're just suspended or kicked off.
Pac-Man Jones, it was constantly in trouble, constantly getting suspended.
Pac-Man Jones was not this guy.
No,
this guy was so much. This guy was a great player, man. A great player.
Absolutely.
And you look and think we talk about all evaluating quarterbacks. His supporting cast was okay at best. And he put up numbers, man. He was great. He's such a good college player as well. We're just evaluating at the pros. I've just never – this guy's so bad, man. He is so bad.
6 interceptions the first 3 or 4 days of camp.
So bad.
We had this topic last week, too. We talk about all the summer workouts. Shuck went with his guys out to say Cleveland had to split them because Shador had his deal. And Watson had his deal. So if you were a receiver, if you were Jerry Jeudy, okay, whose camp would you have gone to? Whose workouts would you have gone to?
Both. Were they overlapping?
I don't know.
Go both.
But let's assume that you could only go to one. Who you betting on?
Charlie, if you're giving me a Tyler Shuck paid workout in Del Mar, California, and I got 2 of them, Charlie, I'm going to 2.
Okay. If you had to pick, who's going to be starting quarterback?
Between
Watson and Sanders.
Gosh.
Yeah, these are all my choices.
God.
It's going to be Watson, I think.
I think it's going to be Watson, too.
Well, they got more invested in him, so they're going to play him. But I don't.
Is he better than Shador right now?
But I mean, Shador might have, from this point on, who's going to start more games in their career?
Ooh.
Shador throws out a couple of more clunkers. He might not ever start again.
Yeah.
But somebody might get hurt. He might go in there and win a game or 2, and then they might, so I'm telling you, I don't know.
I remember when you said that we'll never see Deshaun Watson play football again after that Achilles injury, and I was tempted to agree with you. This is a little bit of a lock. He plays his season out in Cleveland, loses the job. Who's going to sign him next year?
So now he was bad before the Achilles injury. Now he's got something because he's always can run. Now he can't run. Like it's just the chasing bad money so bad.
I mean, like I said, who unless he has a good year, which is difficult.
But if you're going to continue to play him no matter what, why are you drafting multiple quarterbacks one draft? I mean, I don't care what round you drafted them in.
And
I mean, it's so.
I know we don't have draft odds yet. I'll bet you anything Cleveland drafts a quarterback next year in the first round.
Yes.
So it's still not fixed.
But who do you think's going to?
And he's 30 years old now.
And I missed on that one, and I am. But I could show you his film since he's come his Achilles. Does he deserve to be playing?
No.
Who else?
God, he was terrible.
31 other teams. Who's going to start him?
Nobody.
I mean, maybe the Raiders back a couple of years ago, but right now, nobody.
You could have, in the offseason, you could have had him for a song. If you would have offered Cleveland a bag of footballs, and they would have probably picked up some of the freight on him. Nobody wanted him. Like Arizona could have made a trade for him.
You pay for him to go play for somebody else, but you're still going to play him while you have him, and he's so beyond being good.
If Cleveland could have got him out of the building for anything, they would have. But nobody was.
Deshaun Watson, 54% to be the starting quarterback. Shador Sanders, 44%.
That's about how I feel about it, too. It's pretty close to a coin flip.
Well, until they don't play him, I'm going to pick Watson.
Yeah.
I would bet Watson right there. Lay a little bit of juice, no doubt. I mean, they've showed it. They just.
Watson, I would agree to start the opener. Who's going to start more games?
And I'll tell you.
If Watson wins the job, who's going to start more games?
That's what I asked you.
I'm talking about this season. Mm-hmm. Just this season?
This season, Sanders.
I think so, too. I think Watson wins the job, but he doesn't keep it. And Sanders ends up playing the rest of the season out, and they'll probably move on from him next year, take a quarterback in the
and
first
part
round.
of it is, Sanders, what do you fear most with him is entitlement, right? So make him come off the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about you got a major. That's not the only thing to fix him. Okay, I get it. All right, but I mean, you setting yourself up, or you just give him the job.
The 2027 Cleveland quarterback is not in the building right now. That's
probably so.
That's what I think.
I went through all the backup quarterbacks the other day, just getting ready for preseason football.
Yeah, it's important.
Just going through third stringers, fourth stringers. I think we should do a segment later this week.
Third and fourth.
Who he played for?
But I mean,
we'll
seconds.
do Charles Barkley. I'll be the host.
But how many?
Who he
what was
played
the
for?
quarterback? The 32 opening day starters, what was the average missed games for benching or for injury? Because I mean, you going in your depth chart.
Do you
I
count
would say
Rattler as a benching? I guess.
I would say
That was definitely
I would say
benching.
regular season, because I just talking about 17 times 16, whatever that is. That's how many total games you got. So 170 and
I would say on the average 3 to 4 missed starts per game per team.
I'll take the over.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a guy that might get benched after 4 games because they're going to play the first round draft pick anyway. Well, that's Shuck.
Yeah.
I mean, Shuck. How many did he start last year? 11.
Let's see.
9. Shuck started 9, I think.
He did.
So 9.
7, 8, 9.
So that means there's 9.
There were 10 guys that started all 17 games last year.
Okay.
And there were another 5 that started 16 games. So
half of them started almost all of them.
yeah, and a couple of those were. Didn't the Chargers have their position locked up, so they sat Herbert in Week 17? He was one of the guys that started 16 games. I don't remember him missing a game for injury. Same thing with Bryce Young. He started 16
I'm almost
games last year.
positive that this coach decided to sit his starting quarterback when their seating was set.
Jalen Hurts sat Week 17 last year. So there were a handful that played 16, but it wasn't because of injury. So yeah, almost half got all the way through there.
And one other thing I heard too, what I was curious, they gave Kellen Moore credit because he was the first new coordinator or whatever for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is like on his 11th offensive coordinator. Sean Mannion is a offensive coordinator for the Eagles.
11?
In college included.
Oh, college. Okay.
College included. And so they gave credit to Kellen Moore. I'm like, what? Do I get credit if Saquon Barkley has that kind of year for me?
No.
I mean,
They took a significant step back last year. Their OC last year was
Saquon, his production decline?
It did, but maybe that's partly the offense.
Well, he had such a usage. I mean, he had over 400 touches in the Super Bowl.
I understand he's part of it, but it is. Yeah, I mean,
if you ask
Saquon had an all-time. I know in the playoffs he had the most yards from scrimmage ever.
Of all of those coordinators, I'll tell you who I think deserves maybe not the most credit, but certainly no worse than number 2, Lane Kiffin. When he was at Alabama, I mean, he made him into an all-conference player as a freshman.
Absolutely,
with what he did.
Absolutely,
the
Gave
positions
Randall
he put him
stop
in.
to it.
Yeah.
I kept saying, why do they not come up on these screens? But how many 3rd and 10s? He drops back the pass. I mean, very little interest in making a progression and just take off, and he was so good of a runner.
I remember one in Tiger Stadium for damn sure.
That was one run.
Yeah.
They bottled him up pretty good. One run.
Yeah, that was the only touchdown of the game for either team. So that's why I remember it was so important. Yeah, and there were 3 holding penalties that they didn't call on Alabama, but
there were.
Big as Dallas, Texas.
You ain't gonna worry about them anymore, Charlie. They ain't what they used to be, and not going to be.
Kalen DeBoer with his contract extension.
It's unbelievable. Don't forget my boy Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown. Your law firm for a lifetime. It's never fun to get in an automobile accident. Man, some girl pulled in front of me, totaled my car. What you gonna do? So anyway, set you up with the doctor's appointments. Take care of paying all of these doctor visits, and man, that's a lot of money. So you got that involved. You got dealing with the insurance company. No doubt that is something that they specialize in. It's just it's always a pain. It's always an inconvenience. It's almost like a second job, but you have to do it. You have to go through the process, and they're going to just make it as pain-free as much as possible. Limiting the damage control. Call 343-1111 for this or anything. You're not sure if you need legal representation? Take advantage of their free initial consultation. Call them up, 343-1111 or ocbrown.com.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. PC.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
And we're also brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. If you've got back pain, neck pain, muscle soreness, things that are keeping you from getting around as well as you'd like or costing you a good night's sleep, let Dr. Michael Goff and his staff pinpoint those problem areas, get you into a routine, a stretching and exercise, and it may help out. But if you need a dry needle or electric nerve stimulation, cryo, ultrasound therapy, so many different techniques they can use to get you to feeling better. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. LSU reports tomorrow and starts practice on Wednesday. It looks like they're going to alternate their practices between the morning and the afternoon.
I got a take from being off on LSU.
Go ahead.
There is what I've heard a little bit of everything, but there is this quote unquote pressure on Lane Kiffin is way higher outside of Louisiana than it is in Louisiana. Now, we'll get to that point maybe in his career at LSU where there'll be pressure or not. I mean, you can't pay that kind of money. But pressure? I have nobody around here is putting a ton of pressure. Now, if they completely fall flat on their face, 6-6, people are going to be unhappy. People are going to be unhappy if they don't make the playoff. But not anything to where is any more pressure.
I couldn't agree with you more.
But you hear some of this stuff outside?
And yes.
And maybe media days you heard from people outside of Louisiana?
I just wrote a column for TigerBay.com that's coming out here in a day or two that the black hat that he wears outside of whatever team he's coaching for, when they lose a game, there's going to be a celebration.
Okay. Well, that's my second point.
As soon as they lose one game,
and
you're going to get a little bit further in the season, they're probably going to lose more than one game. It's going to be, see, he's not the difference maker. See, he made the wrong decision. They cannot wait to dance on his grave.
Charlie, but that was just half of my deal.
Okay.
Go ahead. The other, I said it was split. I've heard multiple people talk about, hey, Ole Miss, look, quit crying. He left for a better job. Oh, I hear a lot of no. Well, that's not
no. It's not a given. It's not.
No,
a given.
that's hey, man.
That you're going to hear that. It's a given that it's a better job.
No, but I've heard a lot more understanding of him switching jobs.
Yeah.
Did he execute it poorly? I think he admitted as much. He
did. He said it in no uncertain terms. He said, if I had it to do over again, I would have gone into Keith Carter. I would have said, listen, I'm taking another job, but I'd like to coach a team. And he said
that's
no.
That's what he did.
Well, hang on. And then when he said no, I should have just said, okay, thank you, and I'm gone. And that's it. And just let
would LSU have waited for him?
Well, yeah, because they said Verge said that they would. I mean, at the time, he said we want him to go coach Ole Miss.
No, but he committed. He took the job. Okay, no. Yeah. Waited for him until if they make a run and Ole Miss swings the pot, man, maybe he might have changed his mind.
I can't rule that out. For
I'm
sure.
saying, would LSU have waited on him? He didn't. That's. It's easy to say. I would have taken. I don't. Look, I'm just saying. Whether it's ESPN, whether it's on VSiN, whether it's on just people talking, because Kiffin is obviously there's a little bit of interest in how he's going to do it at LSU. There's no doubt, and the amount of money on the payroll that'll be. But I have heard a much more understanding of him jumping.
Let me clarify.
Flat out. He's going for a better job.
Yeah. Let me clarify what I said when I said they would have waited on him. They would have let him do a Summerall deal. Now, they wouldn't have just and not said anything. Just kept it under wraps.
Well, he went
they would have
deeper,
let him. They would have let him do a Summerall
with every
deal.
win. You got to wait another week and a half in the playoffs.
No, absolutely, you do. And listen,
and I'm asking you. So it's a hypothetical, but would LSU have waited? I think they would have.
I think they would have. They were.
I know how bad they were zeroed in on
Yes, they were so lead pipe cinch that they wanted him as their number one guy.
And he gave them inclinations pretty early.
Yeah.
That he wanted the job.
The Florida job was the other wedge. If you remember back to the beginning of it, where it looked like Florida was going to be the biggest impediment that the LSU had to getting him, not Ole Miss.
Well, his wife's an alum, but what is that relationship? Who the hell knows?
And which job do you consider better, Florida or LSU? I mean, for a long time, that was an easy call.
LSU's budget is more.
That's right. But for a long time, the Florida job was way better.
For a long time, Florida had the most players in the NFL, played high school football in the state of Florida. And they've produced multiple championships for 3 different programs in state and an undefeated season for another one. I mean, they got players in Florida like nobody, Texas, I think, has the most now, active. And they've got 50% more population.
Right.
I mean,
right.
so.
But when they eventually lose a game, there's going to be great rejoicing by the national media that they're waiting for him to fail. And the first year is tough. Even now that you can go out and you can add all this talent, it's still hard, man. The best coaches that have ever come through this league, none of them won it in year one.
Max he called me out on it. Well, just pointed this out at the time. I don't think Jimmy's been so excited to be wrong. I loved Ole Miss a couple of years ago when they lost to Kentucky. And I said, the once runts, always runts. Remember that, Max?
That September game?
I mean, God, how do you lose again? Kentucky's 1-7 in the league. And they beat you at home, and that cost you a trip to the playoff. I mean, that's because you got 3 personal fouls in the first half, and keep a team hanging around more than they should. They bust one play and you lose.
And Kiffin knew it at halftime.
He
too.
said it.
We were watching the game together.
We were doing pregame and talked about it on LSU pregame because it was like tied at half, and he knew exactly. Yes, he's being that little 30-second interview going into the locker room. He said, "We got 3 personal fouls on 3rd down.
That's right.
We're just giving them three
drive
possessions.
extenders.
3 possessions.
3 drive extenders.
Yeah. But the runs, Now, did LSU know that we knew they were going to beat Tulane with Kiffin? Say Kiffin's coach. You beat Tulane. But then you play Georgia. Most people think Georgia's going to win. Georgia's about a 7-point favorite in that game, right?
And they won the regular season game by 8, I think it was.
It was more than
34-26.
I think it was multiple scores. I know they covered the spread. So
it was like a 7.5 point spread.
Yeah, they
won by 8.
It was bad. I mean, it was a miracle cover.
Yeah.
But the fourth quarter was just they couldn't stop the run. They didn't have the same defensive front that they had the year before when they had all the personal fouls against Kentucky. I mean, those 3 games they lost.
43-35 was the final.
Yep.
And
So they covered a miracle cover. I mean, the only time was at the very end.
And they lost the rematch in the
Sugar Bowl.
In the Sugar Bowl, 39-34.
Right, and then you're damn close against Miami, who beats Ohio State. I mean,
Georgia, lost. Yeah.
No, Miami beat Ohio State in the playoffs.
Yes.
And so you're damn close to beating them. He might have been like, maybe I can win here. That's the only thing. And they're going to come stronger. They can say what the hell they want right now. They're pissed because they wanted him. They're pissed because he was good.
Absolutely.
We know that.
Yeah.
So
we live that here. When Saban went to Alabama,
yes,
it's like, why do you not want him there? Because he's going to win.
You mentioned that Georgia game. I remember.
Which one? First one, second one?
The one last year. The first one in the regular season.
Regular season in Athens, okay.
A lot of the Ole Miss writers said that they thought after that game, that's when Lane kind of made his decision to leave.
Well, they just couldn't stop the run. Georgia must have rushed for 400 yards.
If maybe they won that game, it might have gone differently.
Yeah. I mean, so.
Bobby Bowden had lost to LSU in 1979.
It was also as the beat writers after they played Florida at home, and they set a Vaught Hemingway record for attendance. They said, well, how many of y'all were here for UT Chattanooga last week or something? But he was kind of some guy like, wait, this is like a celebratory time, and this is a team that's capable of beating you. It looks like you're pretty much locked into the playoff, and you kind of like you're calling out your support.
It's a big deal for
him.
The size of the stadium is a big deal to him. He said it too many times for it not to be in his head. Hey, Tiger Stadium, 100,000 people. I don't have that where I am.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Charlie, where's my folder here? My total maintenance folder.
I don't know.
You did such a good job on those spots while I was going,
that,
Charlie.
Man, look, nobody wants to go to sleep hot.
And guess what?
It's hot.
Thank God my air conditioner with the total maintenance when I get back here, baby. There ain't no doubt. You want fewer AC breakdowns, lower energy bills, and year-round peace of mind? Join the Total Maintenance Membership Program. Call 480-0007. That's 480-0007. Regular maintenance keeps your system running efficiently while catching problems before they become costly repairs. If repairs are needed, they're backed by our lifetime warranty, and your monthly fee goes into a credit should you need to replace equipment somewhere down the line, so you don't get hit with that big one-time cost when something breaks down. Here in South Louisiana, you need JC, you got to pay. I mean, it's kind of like getting gasoline for your car. I mean, it's a necessity. So it just makes it much more. It allows your unit to run more efficiently, lower monthly bills. And then the monthly bill for your membership program is going to be put away. So when it's time to pay for some new equipment, that's Total Maintenance. Total Maintenance in their membership programs, 480-0007 and tm-ac.com.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
Well, we got one former LSU baseball player headed out of Toronto and one headed into Toronto. Kevin Gausman was traded from the Blue Jays to the Cubs yesterday, and then just in the last half hour or so, the Rangers are trading Josh Smith to Toronto for left-hander Adam Mako. So
yeah, Max follows the Rangers. That's his team. I saw him pinch running last week in one of the games. He's played in about a third of the games this year. Max.
He's been hurt, hasn't he?
Well,
he's been reduced
he
too.
was designated for assignment earlier this week as well. So
this week
they've kind of moved him out of the plans.
Yeah, he's kind of hanging on, Charlie.
Yeah, he had plateaued. He made one All-Star team, or did he just miss the All-Star team one year where he should have made it maybe 3 years ago, something like that? He had one monster year where he either made the All-Star team or came damn close to it.
Was he on the World Series team?
17 team.
Was he on the World Series team, Max?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He's been there for 5 years now.
And that was 3 years ago they won it?
Yes, 24. He was a Silver Slugger.
2 years ago then, 24.
Then,
it's 26,
maybe
Max.
It's 23.
What did he hit the year he was a Silver Slugger?
Silver Slugger, he batted 258. 13.
Silver
Okay,
Slugger.
I thought it was it.
Silver Slugger batting 258.
You'd be surprised. You know how many guys are hitting over 300 in the big leagues right now?
3 years ago, you're saying 258. So yes, I'll be
surprised.
I'm sorry, I'll be surprised. For
2023 World Series. Sorry, I thought it's 3 years ago, but he won Silver Slugger at 24.
At hitting it, what average? 24.
258.
Golly, that's a little.
I think there's like 5 guys hitting over 300 in the big leagues right now.
It
ain't
watch
many.
a lot of Major League Baseball. Just went to an MLB park. There's no doubt, but 258 is still is low. For
That is no argument
there.
There were 5 guys going into yesterday in the big leagues hitting over 300. It's 7 now because 2 of them got a pair of hits yesterday, got to 301. So you got 7 guys hitting over 300 in the big leagues. Wow. Thanks to our friends here at Chris's Specialty Foods. Great for your catering and also just so many different items that you can get here. They're bringing in more refrigerators and freezers to house all of the product here. Come by and see us for lunch Monday through Friday here on Highland Road across from Rufino's. For Jimmy, for Max, Jordan back in the studio. Have a great afternoon, everybody. I'm Charles Henniger saying good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.